What's up, people? So this is part 2 of being in search of the perfect camping cookware. So as a quick recap, last time we took a look at foldable cutlery, sporks, cutlery that nests together, and all had pros, all had cons. The spork, for example, really great sturdy material, but the actual fork is really blunt. The spoon is really shallow, so terrible there. This nesting set of cutlery, for example, the fork and the spoon were good, but the knife was terrible because it was seriously thin and flimsy, and the serrated edge was just total garbage. And all because this was originally my set of cutlery, but as I'm missing the fork that has been misplaced, I was in search of another cutlery set, something that could be, potentially something like this, that would just, slide together and be compact, but also usable and effective at actually doing what it needs to do. So, processing your food, so to speak. And as I mentioned in the last episode, all of this was just garbage to some degree or other. It just didn't it didn't give me the impression that it would work really well. So what I did is keep searching, and also a viewer mentioned he liked my. This is actually a toiletry bag, but it's the pouch that I use for all my kitchenware. So I figured I'd take a quick look. As I mentioned, I've got some tea bags and toothpicks in here, salt, peppers, and sugars in these little sleeves. And I've got a sponge. I've got another thin sponge. I've got the bottle for my detergent. I've got a spork and some plastic spoon, knives in there just for the heck of it. And a bunch of Ziploc baggies just because you never know. Also, a really thick piece of cloth, or it's actually a napkin, but it's not. It's kind of like somewhere between cloth and paper. So the reason I keep that there is that if for whatever reason I don't have enough water and I need to source water, I could use that as a filter before then boiling my water. But that's just I keep it there for the hell of it. I hope I'll never use it. But what I really wanted to showcase is the star of this whole setup, and it's this one right here. Not the pouch. The pouch actually came as a freebie with another purchase, which is really nice because it fits this cutlery set really beautifully. The cutlery set that I'm talking about is the Yugoslavian cutlery set from the mess kit. Now, I bought a mess kit just because of this set of cutlery that I needed. I don't plan on using that because even though it is in great condition, I just stay away from aluminium. This one is heavily used as well, but even boiling water, I've done my research and it still leaches particles inside your beverage or your food. So I'm just not going to use that. I'm not a mess kit kind of guy. I say that, but I have the Czech mess kit replica because it's a replica in stainless steel. Otherwise, I wouldn't use the aluminium version, even though the handles are a lot better on the aluminium version. Like this outside one. Sorry, I'm sidetracking, guys. There's a lot to cover. I'm trying to figure out how to break it down. But yeah, this is the only thing that kind of annoys me, is just this handle is a little bit wonky. The one for the inside pot is actually not. So I don't know why they had to do it like this. Minor flaw, whatever, I'll live with it. The water bottle, for example, I from the Yugoslavian mesket. I quite like this water bottle. It's a really nice form factor. I'm gonna try this one at some point, although it does have a very heavy kind of plastic military surplus odor to it. So we'll see if it gives me an aftertaste when I drink from it. But as I mentioned, this whole set, this whole mess kit, cool as a collectible for me. But the main thing I needed was this, and this is excellent. I even found, that's the thing, I decided to put it inside a pouch because should I need to take just the cutlery set in one of my day hikes, because some of the day hikes we ended with a really nice barbecue session. So, just having a decent set of cutlery that I can just put in a pouch and throw in my pack is really nice. Otherwise, this is basically everything I have so far for camping needs. If I actually need to do some cooking myself. But this set of cutlery, guys, wow. I mean, let's take a quick look at it. I saw several reviews on YouTube that really praised this set of cutlery. And I mean, it's a good set. Like, as you can see, like a decent set of cutlery. Nothing too small or too thin or too flimsy. This is a real set of cutlery. The spoon is nice and deep here, nice and hollow and really nice size. The fork has 3 points as opposed to 4, but it works. They're pointy enough. This will definitely work through any kind of protein, any kind of meat for sure. And then the knife is the real star of this trio here. I mean, look at this guy. I love the fact that the handle is just so chunky. And obviously it's got, I believe this is a can opener and this is the bottle opener. And the knife itself, really nice blade. It's actually been sharpened a little bit because it's been used. As you can see that it's a bit out of focus, but you can see that there. So even the serrated edge is kind of not as serrated because it's been sharpened, but this knife will definitely cut through meat. And if need be, it's the kind that can be sharpened in order to just to function perfectly. So a really good set of cutlery, guys. The whole mess kit cost me $25 shipped. It was $25 originally. I offered 20. They accepted plus shipping, €5. So €25 just to get this set of cutlery. And the thing is, this was from a private seller as well, because online, anywhere else that I saw with the cutlery, all sold out. There are a few still going on eBay without the cutlery set. And I didn't need that, as I mentioned. I'll just keep the mess kit because it's part of the whole set. And one day, eventually, when I sell it off, I'll probably like to sell it as a set. Plus, like I said, it's cool. It's definitely cool, and I will try the water bottle at some point. But other than that, all I really needed from this mess kit was the cutlery set, which is amazing. I really love this. I can definitely see why all the YouTubers have been praising this cutlery set. It's just so nice, and the way it packs together, the way it packs down together is just beautiful. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. It's just so compact, so nice like that. And there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. And so, with its nice designated pouch, just throw that in there. And if need be, throw this in my pack for a day hike that ends with a nice grill up. Perfect like that. So, this, I have to say, is probably the star of the show that I was looking for. And as I mentioned, initially I was looking for foldable cutlery just because I wanted the cutlery to nest inside the Czech mess kit replica. But then, they were all too flimsy. They're all crap. So the Yugoslavian cutlery set is definitely the way to go. But then I came across this other set by McKinley. this kind of outdoor, see if I can, McKinley outdoor uh, kind of gear brand, which is overall okay. I have a pack from them, but a really basic, cheap pack that I think I bought for under €5 years and years ago. I never made a review on it just because it's just such a basic pack. I think I paid €3.50 or something like that. But this cutlery set, now, as I mentioned, I'm not a fan of camping cutlery sets because they're all pretty crap. And as you can see, I've got just a rubber band to secure this whole thing with. But I ran into this set because I figured, I'd purchase it because I was thinking it's always nice to have an extra set in case you're with someone and they're ill-equipped, or they just, you know, you just need an extra set, because this, after all, was pretty cheap. And this is kind of like this one, but actually quality. You know, it's pretty thin, but really sturdy, really chunky at the same time. You can't bend this with your hand, so I like that. And the serrated edge on the knife is really nice, guys. Really nice. This will definitely cut through meat. The fork as well is really nice, pointy, you know. And this is in stainless steel, and as you can see, brand new condition. The spoon is okay. It's not as deep as it could be, but it's definitely not as shallow as, say, the spork that I ran into last time. You can definitely see a little bit of a difference. Let's see if I can show you. Well, see, look at that. The spork is just almost totally flat, whereas there's still a bit of depth to this spoon here. But either way, the main thing that I need from here is the knife and fork. Spoon I'd probably use for rice anyway, more than, for soup. I just drink out of the either out of the mesquite if it has cooled down enough, or just transfer the broth to my USGI 1 quart mug. But yeah, it would be nice if this nested together somehow, like that set over there. But the fact that it's thin enough that I can, that's what I mean, just tie a rubber band and put it in my camping pouch, for the cookware. I figured, why not? So I picked it up anyway because, as I mentioned, it was cheap, it was new, it was a brand that I knew, and just by looking at it, it looked like a decent set of cutlery, and it really is. It's a touch smaller and obviously much thinner than your average kind of standard cutlery size, but it's really nice like that. It's really really lightweight. It doesn't take up much space, and it's really good. Like I mentioned, pretty much all three of them are quality. The fork and the knife are excellent. The spoon is okay, so it will do. And so moving on, these are the two sets of cutlery that I decided to basically settle on because they're actually quality sets of cutlery, and they offer the whole kind of camping side to it, i.e. lightweight, compact, etc., etc. But, they all function well as well. They're not just cheap. What I forgot to mention last time, which was in this pouch, kind of hidden away in the last video, I realized, is that I also added a pair of small tongs. I still haven't used these, as you can see, still in the cardboard wrapper, because of it. That's the thing, guys. I usually then realize I need something after a camp out or whatever, after a cookout in the woods, and then buy it, and then maybe I don't use it for years after that. But it's there because a set of tongs is useful like that. I remember once trying to flip a fish over. It was pretty terrible. I was looking at actually getting maybe a foldable spatula as well. I saw one of those, but then I thought, nah, I don't think I need that. I'll still be able to use the tongs, and just, it'll work for most protein, just fine, I figured. But then what I also have is two sets of chopsticks, just the kind that you would, you know, reuse from just any kind of Asian restaurant, just standard chopsticks made out of wood. And then I've got the spork in here, the titanium spork that we took a look at last time. See if I can get it out. Just quickly show you. This was the best purchase from the last kind of batch of purchases. This and the pot holder. So I decided to keep this for sure. All of that is up for sale. I don't want to see it, and I'll probably lose out on the resale, but whatever. Just want to get rid of it. I don't need any of that extra crap. So the spork is just nice like that because it provides that nice long handle. Initially I had a wooden spork which had a much shorter handle, and I don't want to use wood because when I clean it, then it's still going to be damp if I just leave it inside the pouch. Whereas something like this is far easier to just clean and then wipe down, dry, and then put back inside the kit, inside the pouch. But yeah, I figured I'd include this. And in there, I've got my tea towel. Helps with cleaning, with handling hot plates, etc. Just standard. I think I've went through just about everything. I've got the light box, light my fire lunchbox. Sorry, not light box. Here, which again is a little odd. I found it to be useful at times, and at times just not as useful. I don't always take it with me. Basically, it depends. But it's got like a spork, a plastic spork, a fork that I stole from my high school cafeteria when I was younger because I needed something that was pliable. As you can see, I can bend this back with my hand. I needed something that was strong enough but pliable enough that I could just drop back into the lunchbox, and it's been living there ever since. There we go. And then, last but not least, oh my god, I can't seem to be doing this with one hand. Well, you get the idea. Last but not least, we've got the Czech mess kit replica by Miltech. I've started to like it a lot more now over time. But yeah, I've got the just a bit of paracord keeping this together. I've got the pot holder now, which is perfect because I can now use the lid as an actual pan. And FYI, the MSR 1 liter teapot will fit in here. Not in here, pardon me, sorry. In the bigger one, but it won't fit in the smaller one because it has the same diameter. I actually thought about replacing them, but then I thought, nah, I'll keep the MSR teapot with the Primus cookware set, whereas I'll keep the standard 1 liter inside the, I think, 1.2 liter pot. And yeah, just keep the set as it is. What I also have in here, though, is a little bowl type in aluminium, but this is quality aluminium, and this is by MSR. So as you can see, where is it? There we go. A seagull. So it's just a neat little bowl that I have that I realized nests really nicely in there. And then I can put the other pot in there and it nests perfectly like that. I was actually even looking at having something else nesting in there, but then I realized I don't need any more smaller pots. I even checked out the measurements for basically just a little cheap foldable mug, and I thought that it could fit in here, but it's this handle comes in the way, gets in the way, so I can't actually, as you can see that? So I can't actually put it. Plus I realized it was just a stupid purchase because, there's not much I can put in here, maybe some tea or something, but I could just use my USGI mug. And I figured, well, gonna have to sell this over again. Put that aside there. But that's what we have so far. And the best purchases were definitely from these last two kind of shopping sprees and camping cookware, were the foldable, the pot holder, which actually came as a freebie with all these other purchases, including the titanium spork, which is really nice. And then this cutlery by McKinley, really nice set of cutlery. And obviously the Yugoslavian cutlery set, definitely the star of the show. I have to say, probably the best camping set of cutlery for camping needs and what have you. Once again, military surplus. But yeah, I figured that's just about it, guys. Another 20 plus minutes. So let's wrap this up. I think I've broken down all the various components that now comprise my cookware kit. And obviously, I don't necessarily take all of them. It all really depends on what I need to do with them. Do I need to cook? Do I just need to eat? Do I need to, just grab a bit of food? It all really depends. But this is pretty much it so far. And I think I'm finally happy with it. So I hope you learned something from this. I hope you got something out of this video and the last one as well. Especially the last one, because we addressed a lot of the flaws and all these other quote-unquote camping silverware or cookware items, which just fall short every time of expectations, just because, yeah, maybe one thing works, the other two are crap. Whereas this set of cutlery and the Yugoslavian one, wow, excellent quality. So that's all, guys. What can I say? I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of all of this whole kit, this whole camping cookware kit, and hope you get something out of it. And as per usual, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.